up, everybody? Hey, welcome to the channel. We're going to talk about our books. And shut him out real quick. The intro's gonna be the same every time. I'll tell you what.
Hi readers!
Welcome back to our channel. Back that TBR up. Today we're gonna be talking about all the books that we read this month. What was this month? The month of August. It wasn't a very good reading month for me, y'all. I'll just say that much. I started a new job. I was trying to balance everything. So,
But that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say today is the 26th. I have 5 days to read at least one more book. I'm halfway through one.
And then we'll add it at the end.
Okay, so the first book I read this month, I finished quite early this month. It was Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. And it was... it did what it needed to do, y'all. I think I was on a reading sprint with one of my Instagram friends or TikTok friends, Perla, when I was reading it.
Yeah.
And then like chapter 5, I was like, they were mentioning stuff. A lot of people said that it was slow, and you know, I can understand that because she was 15 when she wrote it.
Yeah.
But it didn't slow me down at all. Just the world building, the storytelling in it was great. It was nice to read about another universe other than Akatar.
Yeah.
And it was a great start to the series. I will say that much. Do you have anything to add to that?
No, you know what? I'm one of those people who do agree that it was a slow read, but the plots were so good. The mysteries were so good. I just wish that...
God, please silence your cell phones.
Ma'am! Without telling too much of what happens, I just wish that there was more action between the assassins or the competitors. Yeah.
I agree
That's the only
wholeheartedly.
thing.
I agree wholeheartedly because I thought it was gonna be like Hunger Games,
like fight to the death,
like battle royale.
Right? It wasn't.
Let's see how accurate you can shoot. Let's see how fast you can climb.
Yeah, that's why I was like, huh? I don't know how that accumulates to the best assassin out there, but if that's the case, maybe I can be an assassin.
But I gave this 4 stars. 4 stars because I know the other books are going to surpass this one, but it did what it needed to do.
It did.
If you want to see more of our Throne of Glass updates, we will be filming a separate video for each of the books, or just like checking in throughout our journey.
Yes, because
we can't.
There's too many theories, so we're gonna get into it.
We have to. It's a must.
The next book I finished, it was The Wicked King. So you guys already know I loved this series. I gave this one a 4 stars. It was really good. The politics, again, was great. I'm actually going to do, you know what, I'll do both of these because I finished both The Wicked King and The Queen of Nothing. It was just such a great read. I was on anxiety the whole time. I don't read books with a lot of politics because that's just not my thing. But this was such a good series. Like every few pages, it was a plot and a twist and a turn and all these questions you have in your head and you're trying to figure it out. And I gave this one a 5 star because this one, this was a 5 star. Like
that's the second one?
This was the third one. The Wicked King is the second one, and The Queen of Nothing is the third one. And again, the politics was great, the action was really good, and then Cardin's redemption, like their romance, because you know he started off as the cruel prince, like the bully, you know, but then you start figuring out all these things about him and his background and just how he feels about Jude. And then in this book, oh my gosh, like, you know, again, when I said it was hard for me to picture them as adults,
right?
It is. I don't really see them as adults. Even though they had character growth in here, I still saw them as like young. And that's okay, you know what I mean? Like it's a YA and it doesn't ruin the story. It doesn't ruin anything for me. It's just I just had a hard time like envisioning them other than like 15, 16. Yeah. So again, I love this book. It was such a great read. You guys gotta read it. Don't put it off because I put this off for so long. I had this for a month. I had it for a whole month. I bought the whole collection, the 3 books, and I just kept putting it off. Don't disappoint yourself, guys. Pick it up. Just get it. Just get it. Push through the first book.
I'm so glad you loved it.
I'm
so glad you pushed.
I would read this over and over again.
Oh.
Like, look at all my little... Yeah. The next book we did together was Crown of Midnight.
I read it on my Kindie. This one was a ride for us both.
You know that.
Let me tell you, usually Talia is the one that is ahead on the reading.
Yes!
Okay, but with this one, I was like maybe 50 to 60% done when she had started. So I was like, the tables were turned and I was like, hurry up and finish so we can talk about it. And when we talked about it, girl,
we didn't talk about it completely because we're waiting for our next video to finally get into all the details because we don't want to spoil anything on here.
We saved most of the discussion because we knew we just had to film it.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
This book, it wasn't perfect. I think I gave it a 4 stars as well. Yeah, I gave it a 4 stars because it wasn't perfect. There were some times when I was frustrated with Selena.
So I gave this actually a 5 star. And I think because there were so many good nuggies in here that links to her other books. And the mysteries, there was more action, there was more relationship, there was more definition of who Sam was, what happened to Sam. There was just a lot more plot, and it was not as slow as the first one. So I did give it a 5 read, even though I was very upset with the choices that she made. Very upset. The first one, Throne of Glass, I did give a 4 star only because it was slow, but that was about it. Yeah, but I could see how some people gave this a 4 star. Some people even gave this a 3 star.
I'm thinking about it now. I'm thinking about that ending.
Ooh.
That ending was such a cliffhanger. I might have to bump it up to a 4.5.
This book was so good.
There was tons of character development in this, guys. For every character.
Also, I know that I was saying I love ACOTAR, but this is beating ACOTAR. Hands down. Hands down. And we are ACOTAR like ride or dies. But this...
It's throwing me for a loop and I am so excited to be part of the club.
I'm ready. I'm ready for the next book. We're having a hard time holding it off until September, even though it's right around the corner, so I'm excited. That's the first book I'm going to pick up. Because we have 2. We're reading 2 of them this time.
We're doing Heir of Fire and Assassin's Blade in that order.
Yeah.
Because after that...
Yeah, I need to know what happens. I need to know what happens next. Her background story can wait until the 4th book. I love when books get us like that.
I know.
That's how you know it's a good book, is when you get so excited to know what's going on. You start tabbing, you start making notes, you start trying to figure out the theories. Oh, it's so good. The timelines.
Let me just say, this book got me out of the biggest reading slump because of the next book I'm going to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
I had to DNF this. I was so excited to read it because it was a book club read with Miranda Reed. And I'd never read an Alice Feeney before, and I'm a thriller gal. Like, I love thriller books. It started off well. I'm trying to say nice things about it. Okay.
Be honest. This is a review.
Yeah, the short chapters were great. It was a quick read for the parts that I did read. Just every single character was so unlikable. And I understand what she was trying to do by like slowly unraveling small details about each character, but it truly just dragged on. Like, I think I told you about this one part, and I think this is verbatim. The writing style just got so bad. It was like, he passed by so and so high school. That is where they met. They were friends in school. They were friends since sophomore. I think that's like verbatim. And usually I can read multiple books at the same time and it's fine. And I just really wanted to push through this one, and I'm gonna make a pledge to myself right now. Friends, just read your friends. If you're watching this, listen. If you're not feeling a book, just DNF it. Just DNF it. And don't feel bad about it, because it's not worth the slump that it puts you in. I don't want to blame this book for my bad reading month, but I'm gonna blame this book.
Hey, certain books could do it for you. And you know what? No offense to the author, it's not. It's just some books are for some people and some books are not. Like, maybe you're feeling it one day, maybe you're feeling it another day. Maybe you could try it in the future.
Right. Maybe I'll pick it up when I'm reading more thrillers in October. But just for now, I think just in comparison to the other books I was reading.
Right. The next book I read early in August was Love Theoretically. I need my romance. So this is the book that I think that the bookseller recommended. She said it was a 10 out of 10, and for some people it is. And I thought it was really well written. The storyline was so cute. The romance was great. Love Jack. He's such a romantic. But I think I gave this a 4-star. And the reason I did is because throughout the story, Elsie changes. And so my idea of her changes. And then there was just like a little slow bit in it that kind of put me in like okay, like it's kind of dragging on, like what's going on? I think too, I gave this a 4 stars because this girl made some decisions where I was like, all right, look, your problems could be solved and you're taking forever to just make this decision. And then there was somebody who was controlling her, and she just...
Like Ratatouille?
No, fool! No, so someone was controlling her, and she trusted this person, but there were options she could have had to get her into a position to get her from being broke. Let's just say it like that. Okay. She kept having these, like, setbacks because she trusted this person who kept telling her no, not to do it. And I was just like, bro, look... I'm gonna tell you right now.
Burn me once, shame on you. Burn me twice, shame on me. Burn me thrice, shame on, what's her name? Elsie.
I love how Elsie, she was an independent person. She's going through stuff and she's trying to make it work. Then she starts becoming vulnerable throughout the story, and that's when Jack comes into her life. And then Jack, he's just so witty, he's romantic, he knows what he wants, he's strong, he's just a decision maker. So I loved his character. So I give this a 4-star. It's a good read. I did look at her other books though. I wasn't too interested in some of the storylines. Yeah, I liked her writing style, and maybe in the future I'll get into her other books, but for now, I think that this was the great one to start with because I really did like this book. I just love Jack though. I love me some Jack. Okay, Jack attack. Woo! I do. He was cute. He was so cute. I was like, ooh, wait a minute.
I love books that like make you have a crush on the characters, dude.
He made me have such a huge crush. Look how he's holding her. Look.
His forearm is
that the guy from Atlantis? Look at him. Look at that tattoo too. Okay, he cute.
It's corn fade. That's a man.
Look, first of all, just look how he's holding her. A man that holds you like that. All right, look, listen.
Speaking of love.
Transition.
Thanks. The next book I finished was All About Love by Bell Hooks. This book, 5 out of 5. And I'm about to step on my soapbox for a second. You know how like everyone is like, oh, we never learned the adult stuff that we needed to learn in school, like taxes, life
Yeah,
insurance.
true.
She addresses the fact that we never learned how to love when she was talking about how in the home, that's our first school of love. So it's very dependent upon the parents to teach them the correct way, and only the parents. Because nowadays, there's always that awkward situation where you never want to tell a person how to raise their kids, right?
Yeah.
So your kids are learning and developing how to communicate and how to love and what love is through you. Another one that really stood out to me was being honest with yourself. And self-love is very important, right? We're all looking for self-love. But what good is self-love if you're not being honest with yourself?
Okay, friend.
Girl, this book just did something to my brain. It rewired so many things, honestly. This should be required reading.
I'm glad you had a book to read after you had a DNF book.
That book pissed me off. I DNF'd the book. I'm not ashamed.
Okay, I'm excited for this book. I'm excited to talk about this book. You guys know my favorite trope is marriage for convenience tropes. That is my trope. I am preaching for it. Yes, so the next book I have is Terms and Conditions, which is the Dreamland Billionaire series number 2. And this is the brother Declan. So remember, we know in the Dreamland Billionaire series, they all have to do what's in the will from their grandfather in order to receive their 18% share. Declan has to get married and have a baby. This book was so good. I gave this book a 5-star. This was a 5-star for me, okay? Now, Declan, obviously, he is just
He's a mean guy.
Yeah, so Declan, he's not the nicest guy. He doesn't let people in. He's very, to the book. I want my job done now. And the only person who could really deal with him is Iris, okay? Because that's his assistant. This book starts off running. It starts from the first page where they basically have to make this situation work. And I love that. I do not like waiting. I want this to just go. There are some books where I'm like, okay, set up the pace, cool. But this one was taking off running and I loved it. Also, what I love, Iris is black.
Dude.
She's black. It's the cutest thing. All in the Billionaire series, they're all different ethnicities. The first one, I think I don't remember what she was, but she was mixed. This one, Iris is black. And then the third one I'm going to talk about, she's Colombian. There was she was wearing braids. She smelled like coconut oil. Yes! And I was like, oh my God, that is so cute. But yeah, there was just so many cute things in here where he knows that he cares for her. It was like a touch her, you die type of thing. That's my world.
I will say, when we read the first book, The Fine Print, in July, and they introduced Iris and Declan, they teased a little bit of what their relationship was like.
Yes!
It made me want to read that one so bad, but my TBR is never ending. I have to figure out when I'm going to read it, but you have just convinced me.
You could borrow this. Again, so this is a Grumpy Sunshine, Marriage for Convenience, Office Romance, Age Gap. I think they were 12 years apart. This book really has my heart. I liked it. Now, man, some of you may not seem the same and say oh, well, he's a jerk. He is, but Iris she's a queen. She brings out other things in him, and I'm here for it. Okay, the next book was Final Offer, which is the third one from the Dreamland Billionaire. So this one is about Callahan and Elena. I wanted to love this book. In the beginning, I loved it, and then it got to a little less way than half point, and it fell flat. And I think because he's an alcoholic and he's so addicted to it that he'll hide it so well. And there was so many good opportunities for this to be a good way for people who do struggle with that, to see how people break and then try to mend their bonds in relationships. This didn't do that. It was more like too many small little plots where he succumbs to his alcohol, and then she'll get upset with him, and then he'll charm her again, and then it'll be replayed and replayed and replayed. And I'm just like, you don't have to put so many of those little plots. It could have just been like maybe 2 big plots where he fell back into that position, and then you guys had a big fallout, and he had to figure out a way to mend it the proper way.
Right.
And I think that's why I have such an issue with Billionaires, right? Because it played a part in this where it's like, well, I have money,
So I get to act how I want to act.
right? Or not just that, but it's like, I can sway you because I can buy you this. You know what I'm saying? So it was just not, it fell flat for me. So I literally gave this a 3-star. This thing was like 582 pages. And I was like, bro, this story could have ended at like 300 because there was all this extra stuff was just dragged on. Not worth it. Sorry, but I loved your other 2 books. Yeah.
Okay, so the next book I finished this month was Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. It's another nonfiction about love. But the difference between this one and the one by Bell Hook, this one was very like gut punch, straight to the point. You're feeling it in your soul, right? This one was very relatable in a more funny sense. Yeah, because if you read the like all the little words that are scratched out, it says everything I know about parties, dates, friends, jobs, life, and then it says love. I thought it was really cute because it followed lessons about love chronologically. For example, like when we're kids, everything we know about love is like, if a boy is mean to you, he like you. Like someone can like you but like not like you. You know what I mean? And then it also, there was this huge chapter about middle school, like growing up in the suburbs, and she talks about AOL Instant Messenger.
Those were the days, y'all.
And like how everybody used to like print out their conversations like they were like erotica novels. And then she talks about going into high school. What she knows about love then is like, you can never like the same guy as your best friend and stuff like that. She goes into values of your best friendship. And then she moves on to like your college years, experiencing parties for the first time. It was more coming of age than the Bell Hooks one was. I still really enjoyed it. It's a memoir, so I can't rate it. But I did really enjoy it. If I had to compare the two, I know nobody asked. If I had to choose between...
Nobody asked for this YouTube channel either, so...
And we're here. And we're not going anywhere.
We're here to stay. And you're going to hear our opinions.
All 8 of you. If I had to choose between the two, I'm gonna go with this one every time. I thought of every single person that I love reading this. I want everyone. I'm like, here, read this, please. Deja, please, Mary, everyone, Roxanne, like everyone.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. I'm gonna borrow it from you.
Yeah, girl, go for it. So like I said, this was a bad reading month for me. Not bad. I just didn't read as much as I wanted to because of aforementioned reasons. But the current book that I'm finishing right now is my best friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. This thing is good.
Look at these tabs, guys.
I'm tabbing a lot because I'm just like, these are the parts that grossed me out. These are the parts about Abby. These are the parts about Gretchen. These are the parts about her possession. Bro, this book... When I first started hearing people talk about it, they were saying how it was very graphic. I even heard the words like disgusting, like gross, to the point where she's not washing her hair, she's not bathing, she's wearing the same clothes. She has like, it describes like her smelling sour. It describes her having a thick white film on her tongue because she's just,
Ew.
Bro, it's just bad. So right now I'm at the point where she just told Abby what's going on, and Abby just told her parents. At first they thought it was because of an acid trip because they all did acid together. Everyone else came out just fine except for Gretchen. Now she's a raging lunatic.
She just looked creepy. Imagine a white film on her tongue right now with
smelling sour. Imagine you had to pick me up every day to carpool,
And
and I
nobody's
smelled sour.
okay. No, look. You're not a friend if you're not telling them to get themselves together. If you came out looking crusty, busty, and dusty and smelled sour, I'm gonna tell
Wearing
you.
the same clothes for like 2 weeks.
I'm gonna tell you right now. You're not getting in my car. We're not hanging out until you get. No, I'm coming to your house and we're getting it together. Go take a shower. I want to see you take a shower.
Yeah.
I want to see you brush your tongue. I want to see you get changed. Are you changing your underwear?
Look, it said Gretchen kept her sleeves rolled down no matter how warm the weather was. Some morning she showed up with filthy band-aids on her fingertips. Her breath got worse. Her tongue became coated in a thick white film. The crimping had turned her hair into a frizzy nest barely controlled by a scrunchie, and her lips were always chapped. Like,
She's
you're
going
not
through it.
offering her Vaseline, bro?
For her to get to that point, you didn't say anything before then. You got to the point where
Now you're best friends with the smelly kid.
it's not even that. Like, if you look toe up from the flow up, you're gonna have to have a conversation. And we're not busting anybody for smelling or looking bad. That's not the thing.
No. Just
You
be a friend.
You should be a friend
That's all.
and get them together, because they should never reach that point to where they look like that, smell like that. And you not say anything? Look.
I think she dropped a hint here or there. She was like,
Hints? No. If you look.
You skipped laundry this weekend? What happened?
I'm gonna be like,
You're
do you smell like that? Is that you? Oh, heck no.
She smells funky.
I mean, she's going through an exorcism. They don't know that. But still, be a friend. Please, if my breath stinks, let me know. If I smell funky, let me know. I don't want to walk around looking and smelling like that. No.
Well, she is going through it.
She is going
I will
through
say
it.
that.
Let me put some chapstick on your lips,
Yeah,
baby.
check
Let
right
me
now.
brush your hair.
Right.
Let me wash it for you. You know what? Let me just let me
Take
scrub
care
you
of
down.
That's a friend.
Yeah.
Let me scrub you down.
You want them vocals. As you guys well know, we always have a singing session on here.
Always. Every vidya.
Okay guys, this is me post-edit. I did finish my best friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. I gave it a 4 out of 5 overall. Talia's here. If you're gonna pick it up, just be prepared. It is pretty graphic when it starts to describe her possession and what happens during her exorcism. I rated it highly because I loved Abby's persistence to protect her best friend. It reminded me a lot about a certain someone in the room as well. I liked how everyone in the friend group was intertwined in the possession. Everyone was pretty much affected by it. And the way that story was told was very entertaining as well. And it is a movie, so we're gonna watch it probably and see and compare. So I did take off a star because of how they wrapped up the end. A few of the loose endings that they tied up, I felt like they didn't describe much of the origin too much, so that's why I took off 1 star. I definitely recommend if you're trying to go for the spooky vibes during the fall. Back to the video.
I have the day off on Monday, so I'm gonna finish this guy. Hopefully, fingers crossed. No, I'm gonna do it. Challenge yourself, Fran. Do it. Just do it.
I'm gonna see that. Where am I? Both more.
I didn't finish that book. These two were also on my TBR for the month. I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't have enough time, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm not a bionic reader like this one.
Look.
I don't inhale books like her. I can't. My attention span.
Look, it's okay. It's okay. You don't need, just because you have a certain amount of books you want to read on your TBR for a month doesn't mean you're gonna get through it. That's okay. Like, I didn't get through one of the books, which is the Summer Beach Read.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with it, even though we still have like a week. That's why you're okay. We're filming this early for certain reasons. Thank you. You're welcome, oh baby. Oh baby. Oh my little baby. But yeah, it's okay. Like, life is not about you stressing out over reading a certain amount of books.
Life is about capitalism,
Oh,
unfortunately.
yeah. And yeah.
That's what's been getting
I'm
in the
trying
way
to
of my
survive.
reading.
Sorry, guys. We had a little mental breakdown. But it's okay.
That's all my books for the month. I know you got 2 more.
I got 2 more.
Which I'm very excited to hear about because these covers go off.
I kept stopping to look at these covers because this girl is gorgeous. Her eyes are... So, it's a broken blade. See that? You see her eyes?
These covers are crazy.
Oh, just beautiful. Melissa Blair, you have outdone yourself with this. This book, you guys, was a 5-star read. This book was so good. I could not put it down. I am so upset with myself that I put this off for so long, because I also had this book for a month too, and I was like, if it's not From Blood and Ash, or if it's not Akatar, I'm a little afraid to start another book and it's not the same. So I put it off. This book was so good. She, as the female character, like, you know how they always describe him as she's a badass, she's strong, independent, she's an assassin, blah, blah, blah. This girl is a beast. Like, she does not care about scars on her body. The action in this book, so incredibly detailed, so you can just envision it like a movie. And I loved her. Like, I loved her. The male character, he's mysterious. You gotta try to figure out who he is. The plots, the twists, the action. The action is what did it for me. And I was really impressed with this book. The second book, I was highly disappointed. A Shadow Crown. Beautiful cover, again.
That's crazy.
That's another thing that I wanted to discuss, actually. I can envision her face throughout the whole series. The series isn't done, but I think the third one is coming out in May. But I can envision what she looks like throughout the whole series. Like any other book, they don't have a depiction of what they look like, so it's just a description. So you're figuring it out and you're imagining it yourself. Here, because she's so beautifully depicted and her eyes are so impactful, that's all I can imagine. Like, I can just see how her eyes shine. I can see her face. I could see the way she pulls her hood down and how she moves with her cloak through the nights, and it was so beautifully done. This book fell flat. There was so many background information, it was boring. The world building, incredible because it involves fae, so it was just a beautifully done imagination of what their magic is like, what they live like, down to what their bedding is and how portals work and all of this stuff. It was beautifully done, but the character changes. The male character became a background character with no development. We didn't really know who he was. He didn't really have this relationship with her. It was just so surface level. And her, even though you're knowing more about her, she wasn't the same character as the first character. This one, she's strong, she's mysterious, she's cutthroat. This one, she's more vulnerable, she's more girly and more like, I can't even describe what she's like in here. I don't know. But I think it just changed my perspective. There would be situations where it's like, oh, I gotta do this for the king by like 2 weeks. And then there will be days where they're just doing nothing. And I'm like, where's the action? Like, how are we resolving stuff? And then part of the book, like halfway to the book, is where all this stuff happens, and I'm like, this was really rushed. It ended with such a cliffhanger that I felt if you would have cut out some of the background information that was not necessary, you could have had more plot and action in there and then left with the cliffhanger, that it would have been a great story. But I really was disappointed. I stayed up late to finish this. I was so bored and I was like dragging on. and I was really close to just being like, all right, DNF, but I wanted to know what the story was. And normally, the background information, I'm like, oh, here's a little tidbit, I need to know this information. With this, I was like, okay, this, I don't care. I don't care. But yeah, so I gave this one a 3-star. 5-star. I will read this book forever and ever and ever.
Oh.
Ooh, that's another thing. One more thing. Look, I'm upset. You know I like me some smut. It doesn't have to have smut, okay? Cruel Prince doesn't have smut. I love that book. This girl and the male character has so many interactions where they could be getting it on, and then it's always like, no, not this. Like, we can wait. I want to wait, and then they'll wait. I'm like, boy, this guy has so much patience, and so that's cool and all, but stop giving us so many teasers. Like, it started to get annoying. If you had like maybe 3 times out of these 2 books, cool, and then they do it, cool. But if you're putting in like 5 times and
That's excessive.
it's so
That's
annoying.
excessive.
Yeah. Now, I know my rave and rant was a little long for these 2 books, but I had to, the comparison is so drastic. Incredible first book. Such a disappointing second book. But the 3rd book that comes out in May, I'm still going to read it, still excited for what happens, and I'm hoping that book is way better than the second book.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
hopefully it turns it around.
Yeah, because I know even in the From Blood and Ash series, like, I think the 2nd and 3rd book, I was like, the first book was incredible, and then the 4th book I really enjoyed. 5th book I still have to read, but yeah, so I know that it's hard to do a series and then keep them all the same and without the character changing drastically, but I felt like this one, she is not the same person. This person I fell in love with. Like, I've never seen a character where she was just cutthroat, ruthless. I'll kill you right here, right now. Like, that's it. Like, I don't need anybody. I felt like there was a quick cut to her changing into a completely different person. In real life, you're still going to be the same person, you know what I mean? So I feel like it just was too quick. Like, there still should have been some development in there instead of a quick change.
So these are all the books we read in August. Again, it was a so-so reading month. It's still not over. Future friend, insert now if you finished a book.
Remember, we did this video on the 26th. We still have a week, but we had to record early on for certain purposes. But I'm proud of us. I'm
always proud of us.
I know.
I love us.
I love us too. Thank you guys so much for joining us on our reviews for August. We are so thankful that you guys are here and watching us. And for all our new subscribers, we appreciate you and love you. And again, our reviews are just our reviews. Don't take them as a personal review for you. Your opinions could change. We would love to hear your thoughts on any of the books that you feel are completely different, because it could change our perspective. That's the great thing about it, about the book community. So just leave your thoughts down below and make sure you subscribe, and we love you, love you, love you. Bye guys. Bye guys.